Hi everyone, welcome to the fourth and final database tutorial for LIS 9003. Today we'll be looking at a unique little tool called Ulrich's Periodical Directory when in print form and Ulrich's Web Global Serials Directory when online. This handy little tool contains all the information you could ever want to know about journals, serials, and periodicals. So Ulrich's can be found on Western Library's database page under the letter U. And before we get started, I suppose we should go over the definition of a periodical. So a periodical is a serial publication with its own distinct title, containing a mix of short works written by more than one contributor, issuing more than once, generally at regular stated intervals of less than a year. With that in mind, Ulrich's Periodical Directory is a searchable database that provides information about all those different journals, serials, periodicals. You'll find bibliographic information like title, title changes, ISSN, publisher, and subjects, and access information such as subscription costs, whether it's available online or just in print, and where you'll find it indexed. So just a very brief history of Ulrich's. It was created by a woman named Carolyn Farquhar Ulrich, who was the head of periodicals at the New York Public Library. I imagine she was a very busy woman. Basically, this is how I picture her desk when she comes back from lunch. So a representative from Oxford called to let the library know they changed their contact number. So she has to keep track of that. A patron came in and the reference assistant couldn't find the journal he was looking for because he only had the ISSN. So the assistant wants to know if she knows the title off the top of her head. And then Carolyn's collections librarian has come in to tell her that the price for a journal called Nature has jumped to over $5,000, and she wants to know if she should renew it. Then a salesperson dropped by to let her know the journal that used to be called Hospital Quarterly is now Healthcare Quarterly, so she has to remember that as well. So basically, I picture her throwing up her hands and saying, there must be a better way. So basically, she gets to work and compiles all this information on all these different journals, and that work culminates in the first edition of Ulrich's Periodical Directory in 1932. It originally had 6,000 titles arranged by subject and included information on language, price, and frequency. And then she went and sold it to a bunch of libraries all over the world, and we're still using it today. So when we talk about Melville Dewey and Charles Cutter, let's not forget about Carolyn Ulrich. So who uses Ulrichs and why? The audience for Ulrichs is mostly academic and mostly librarians, but there are a ton of reasons to use it. For example, it's handy to know if a particular journal is peer-reviewed, how much a subscription costs, and whether it's open access. We might use it to find contact and submission information for the purposes of publishing. I use it to solve mysteries like, oh, there's two journals with that name, or that journal used to be called such and such. And it's definitely handy to find free online journals too. So usually when you open Ulrichs, it's under one of two circumstances. You either have a journal title or ISSN and you want more information on it, or you have a list of things you're looking for and you're trying to find a journal that fulfills all those things. So this is what the search page looks like for Ulrichs. Originally, you won't have these limiters showing here. So to do that, you just click Advanced Search. And then when you do perform a search, there's a lot of information that you can glean just at a glance. The lowercase e tells us that the journal is published online. The yellow star tells us that the Ulrichs record for the journal contains a review. The unlock symbol means that it's open access, and the referee journal tells us that it is a peer-reviewed journal. Okay, and this is what each record is going to look like. So this is where you'll find the other information I told you about. So cost for sure, the subjects, if the journal has gone through name changes, it'll be here, how to contact the publisher for ordering and for submissions. where it's abstracted and indexed, what the audience for the journal is, and reviews if it's there. So let's put this knowledge into practice now with some scenarios. If you'd like to do these activities yourself, I'll let you know when to pause the video. So scenario 1, a first-year nursing student has an annotated bibliography due next week. The journal articles have to be peer-reviewed. She visits you at the reference desk to make sure she's on the right track. Basically, is she using a peer-reviewed journal? So if you want to do this activity on your own, feel free to pause the video now. So from the citation, we know that the name of the journal is the Journal of Gerontological Nursing. So let's go into Ulrich's now with that in mind. Open up a new search page. Right, so it just defaults to basic search, but we'll just click over here, advanced search, and then it's still going to hide some stuff from you. So click this more limiters button. Okay, so I'll just go over and grab the title, pop it into the search bar. Okay, so this is our results page. Without even having to click into the record, I see that Journal of Gerontological Nursing is peer-reviewed because it has the referee symbol here. And before we leave this page, just notice that there are the facets on the left. If you wanted to start your search more generally and then narrow in, these are the exact same limiters that are on the advanced search page. So different ways to search, but they're there for you if you need them. And if we just click into one of the records here, so this is where you'll see the review, that it is available online and in these databases, or sorry, on these platforms or through these vendors, the subjects that apply, some contact information, and some price data. Okay, so not every journal is going to have all of these pieces of information. Some are omitted. Often you won't find price data because that's something that the journal wants to keep a secret for negotiating purposes, I assume. Okay, but that's your average little record there. Okay, so let's go back, I guess, just sort of to review or to wrap up. We could tell this student that she's on the right track and that the journal she's using is peer-reviewed. Okay, so scenario 2. An education student has just completed a massive research project and would like to have it published. The grant she received only allows publishing to open access journals in Canada, the US, and the UK. She makes an appointment with you to discuss her publishing options. To which journals would you recommend she submit her research? So if you want to do this one on your own, feel free to pause now. So we'll go back to Ulrich's, open up a new search. Okay, so she is an education student, and open access is here under key feature. And then she had some countries that she specified. So Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. So we'll hit search. Great, so just at a glance, I see that the Canadian Journal of Education would be a good one to recommend. Maybe the Radical Teacher, not sure. Journal of Statistics Education, Journal of Interactive Online Learning. But this would be an opportunity to go back to the student and get some more information so that you can request the best journals. And if you want to take it a step further, you can learn do what we learned last week, which is go to Scopus and Web of Science to see what kind of impact these journals are having in the field currently. Okay, so scenario 3. So you graduated library school a year ago and your database privileges have expired. Boo! You'd like to keep up to date with library research but can't afford personal subscriptions? Find a free, scholarly, peer-reviewed open access journal about library and information science that will satisfy this information need. Okay, so if you'd like to do this one on your own, feel free to pause the video now. So we'll head back, open up a new search page. Okay, so we want LIS subject matter, but we're not going to find it in this list up here. So for this, you can go up to the drop-down menu and select Subject Exact, and then you'll see it generated this white and green arrow icon. So that means that there's an index. It actually has all these super specific subjects to choose from. So let's see what happens with library. Yeah, and there is one. So library and information sciences, we'll click. And then information for price is down here. Format is here. And then, right, you want to make sure that it's academic and scholarly. And just to re-emphasize, we'll click refereed peer-reviewed as well. And just take some time and just review what limiters are available so that you know how you might use this database in the future. So maybe you'd need to know about forthcoming journals in a field, or just to narrow down by serial type. And language, of course, is going to be an important one for you to use as well. Okay, so we have library and information sciences selected, academic, peer-reviewed, open access. Did I click that? Oh, there we go. And then price type free and online. So we'll hit search. Well, there aren't a ton, but there are some. So marketing libraries journal, if you're interested in marketing, and information technology and libraries online seems like a good one as well. Let's see if there's anything interesting in here. See this, I find this very helpful. So you can see that this was formerly called the Journal of Library Automation, JOLA, Technical Communications, and even Interface. So for whatever reason, you might just need this to solve a mystery someday. So just know that this information is here. All right, well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you have any questions about this video, this subject matter, or anything library related, email fimslib@uwo.ca. Bye for now.